Hello everyone, this is Bazooka. Welcome to one of my videos and welcome to Random Ramblings. Man, I have not said that in 2 weeks. I am a terrible content creator. But regardless, I finally have something to talk about. Unfortunately, the whole new series thing isn't really going to be happening yet. I mean, it will happen. It's a thing that I've decided that will happen eventually, but I don't know when exactly, because I've decided that it's gonna be my kind of filler upload when I don't have anything else to do. So if a week, like last week or the week before, if it were like that, and I only upload a Leave a Loadout, instead of having a Random Ramblings, because, you know, Random Ramblings is entirely based on whether or not I actually decide I want to talk about anything, I would upload a video of the new series that I have decided upon. So yeah. So it will happen. And another note for that, it is entirely made up of what I want to do, and it's not going to restrict what can be accepted for Leave a Loadout. So just in case if any of you guys were wondering about that, just like so obviously it has something to do with TF2. So if you don't know by now, then I guess you're just gonna have to wait and see, or don't you? So, regardless, topic that I really want to get into is the best and worst weapons in TF2. And I use that term kind of lightly because, well, true, some weapons are better than others. I wouldn't call them the best and the worst. As like a whole, maybe like the best, you know, one specific class weapon, or like the worst one specific class item or weapon. But like as a whole, it's kind of hard to, for me anyway, to really rate them amongst other class weapons. Like, oh, the back scratcher is the worst, and then the I don't know, the Tom Slav is the next worst. Is just like, but those two classes are incredibly different. How can you gauge? How can you gauge if that's worse than the other class's weapon? And I don't know. The reason why I'm thinking about this now is because someone, I think one of my viewers, asked me, "Hey, what do you think is the best weapon?" I'm like, I have not thought about that at all. And then today, Kona made a video on the part 1 of his top 10 worst weapons in TF2, and I don't know. I just thought it was weird that you could potentially just say, "Oh, hey, this is the worst weapon." But it's like one specific class weapon. It's just like, how do you gauge that properly? I am not of the understanding. I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm just completely missing and I'm being oblivious to, and ignorant, and so on and so forth. Other words meaning that I don't realize the situation. But meh. You tell I like kind of just woke up. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. So, personally, I feel if you were doing like the best or the worst kind of like rankings, you'd have to do it in its own like class pool of weapons. I'm gonna get you. Because that's just, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I know I'm just kind of repeating myself, but it's weird ranking, say, medic items to, or medic weapons to soldier weapons, because, you know, medic's all about healing. He doesn't necessarily need damage or anything like that. And then you go over to the soldier, who's meant for basically the exact opposite thing, for dealing practically raw damage, and you know, getting them important player picks when he rocket jumps in, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's how I feel that they should, that you know, the best of or the worst of should go for TF2 weapons. Is there anything else that I really want to talk about? Because that was relatively short, and I kind of just stopped thinking about anything else. Well, I mean, I at least got some pretty interesting sniper gameplay. Finally decided to use the classic, because why not use the classic, right?
Keep going.
Actually, I suppose I can get into that. If I ever do random ramblings, I think I'm going to be using weapons that I don't normally use. Just to try and see how well that can go over. Because it's interesting, because the classic, I had never used the classic until today. Or, well, technically not today. Maybe technically today? I don't even remember when I recorded this. I mean, I do, but I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. Regardless. I forgot to mention the date. Whatever, you know, I don't care. That's hardly an important factor in these random ramblings. But I had not used the classic since the Love and War update. That's how much I cared about the classic. It just did not matter to me that much. It was an interesting concept, but the fact that you can't fire in the air was kind of weird and threw me off a few times. But it's interesting, because I finally got to use the classic again, and got to see a little bit more. I got a little bit more experience with it, and being able to headshot people when outside of your zoom is actually pretty satisfying and entertaining, because it's just like, hey, he's not zoomed in, bam, dead. Insta-gib everywhere, explosion, dead. Cloud of red mist. So sorry about that. So you can probably expect to see, if I do random ramblings, you can expect me to use things that have very, very few kills on my stranges, or things that you just normally don't see me using. If I did use it recently in a leave a loadout and I barely use it to begin with, I don't know, I think it's a 50-50 whether or not I'll actually use it, but use it for random ramblings rather. But that we shall see. We'll see whether or not I actually use it. Anything else about that? No, nothing else I can really think about. So it's kind of a short random ramblings, because usually I manage to eke out 15 minutes of whatever kind of thing that I decide to think of, but I guess it's because I just woke up and my brain is like, I don't want to think about things, I just want you to either A, go back to sleep, or B, get some food. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Next time, well, next time may possibly be a Smash for Glory. Unfortunately, it won't be Marth, because, well, considering I have almost no experience with Marth, if anything, I would rather do Lucina, but, you know, whatever. But it will possibly be a Smash for Glory, and we shall see what that is all about. But, have a great day, and a good night. Bye.
Mission ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You failed.
Dude, you were too good of a front line.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.